Yeah, good evening. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Thursday, the 8th of August, 2024. Greetings from Cambodia. It's about 11:15 p.m. on a Thursday night. I just got to do this video. I thought a good chance to do it. It's been a while since I've done a video on where my indicators come from, how they work, and how they all put together. I get a lot of questions about this privately and in the groups, and I appreciate that I probably didn't go in enough detail in my first couple of books about the indicators. I did cover it in a bit more detail in the fourth book, The Profitable Forex Trading Using High and Low Risk Strategies. I did explain them a bit more, gave a few links, but this video I will go into it. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because when anyone asks me this question, I direct them to this video in my channel, 1 hour into daily. Now, have a look at the date I published this video, October the 2nd, 2014. So about 9 years and 10 months ago. So it's getting a bit old, a bit long. So I'm going to upgrade it. So let's get into it. All right, let's bring up we'll use MT5 because that's easy. I've prepared these charts already, so it's all good. Except that's going to be a pain if I can move this. Stand by. All right, just going to use MT5 here. Now, we'll just look at the same chart. I've set these charts up, so we'll just go through a bit of a sequence of events, and I'll show you a few things. All right, so this is just a normal price chart, candlestick chart. We're looking at the pound daily, all right? So this is the current chart. This is not MT5. If you're interested, it's 8cap. It's a live account. My first indicator is the MACD Platinum. Now, all it is, this MACD Platinum, is a zero lag MACD, all right? So if I go into the controls, now to access the controls, just a matter of right-clicking anywhere on the indicator, go to Properties, and you'll see in the Properties box the zero lag here, all right? So if I change that to false, now just have a look how it goes there. If I change that to false, press OK, and you see it just looks like a normal MACD sort of. It's just taking the zero lag function out of it. So I go back in, zero lag, true. Now this is just standard default settings on any MACD. Most MACDs come with 12, 26, 9. So zero lag is true, and it gets this. Now it's an oscillator, so it oscillates around a zero level, which is here, this level here. So we'll bring up the crosshairs. So when price is above the zero level, when the MACD is above the zero level, I'm looking to sell. And when it's below the zero level, I'm looking to buy. So in an ideal situation here, the sell, like sell up anywhere front of crosses, we're looking to sell. Anytime it's below, we're looking to buy. And eventually it'll get it right most of the time. Not huge moves, but it'll get it right. Now, I was introduced to the I was introduced to what I call the MACD Platinum through an old school prop firm setup. I won't go into the whole backstory, but it was one of their custom indicators they had, and they crashed and burned like a lot of modern day prop firms. It was an old model where you had to go through 10 levels. I think I got the highest of anyone, and I actually worked in the same building or the same resort as where the actual head office was. So I could I was doing security, and I saw them have trading screens in this room at night time when they had a security breach there. And during my day shift, I went and spoke to them. I said, I'm a trader. They just looked at me and went, mate, you're a security guy. Well, what would you know about trading? I said, no, I trade. And I signed up with them, and I was the highest level trader before they come crashing down. It's just a big scam. They've got a few indicators out of them. This is one of them, MACD Platinum. So that's where that come about. Now, it's good, but it's not a standalone. You just can't take every trade based on the red dots. For example, sells here, sell there, here. You can't just take buys on every blue dot. You'd be just getting whipsawed in and out. So I needed another option. Now, as you can tell, I've been using these indicators for a long time. Well, that old video that's back to 2014, that's got these exact same indicators. Different versions, but the exact same indicators. So I'm not sure where I come across the QQE advanced, but I found it somewhere in my travels, and I liked it. I liked the thought of it. This is this indicator down the bottom here. These two lines, they cross. Now, I just go back to the MACD Platinum. These dots are caused by the cross. There's two lines, might be a little bit hard to see. You've got this reddy, orangey, reddy, browny, dark line, and you've got that blue dotted line. It's just when they cross, gives those dots there on the actual indicator. This here is a, now the QQE Advanced, let me just expand this a little bit. The whole gist of it, in general, is to take when the blue line here crosses from below through this orange line, below the 50 level, which is this white dotted line, that's a buy signal. When it crosses above the blue comes down through the orange level, above the 50 level, that's the sell level. That was the whole idea of it. Now, I don't need to look at the levels where it is compared to the 50 level, because the MACD Platinum sort of does that for me. You can see it sort of follows the same sort of trend as the MACD Platinum. So when it's up high, the MACD Platinum is above the zero level. When it's down low, the MACD Platinum is below the zero level. So I can just take that as a gimme that any crosses I get are above the zero level, are also above the 50 level, or below the zero level in the MACD Platinum, below the zero level in the QQE Advanced. All right, so I've got these two indicators now. Now I think they're a good thing. Now, it was a pain in the butt, because what I'd have to do is I'd have to get the old data window, whatever they call it, up here, and get my crosshairs out and try and line up these things. So, for example, there's a cross here. So you can tell it's a cross. Both the MACD Platinum and the QQE Advanced cross from the same candle. So the open would be of the trade, the buy trade would be on this candle here. But it gets a little bit tricky. For example, see if I can find one. That one's on the same, this one here. That's crosses on the QQE Advanced first, then the MACD Platinum. So you've got to get this little tool out. It's just become a pain. So to avoid this, always checking and not sure whether it was crossed or not, or they're in sync. See, this one's clear cut. So here's your buy signal on the MACD Platinum here, and the QQE Advanced is not for a few candles later, but it's in this area here. So the buy signal will be on this candle here. So there's just a pain in the bum checking this all the time. Hence, I had the QMP filter built. So remember, this is called the MACD Platinum. This is called the QQE Advanced. So let's go and have a look. So now, all I've done is built this indicator, the QMP filter. Now, QMP, I don't know why I called it a filter. I should have just called it QMP. I don't know why I called it a filter, because it doesn't really filter out anything. But the Q and the QMP stands for QQE Advanced, and the MP, QMP, MP stands for MACD Platinum. So that's all that means. And these dots just make life a lot easier. So it's not an actual indicator itself, but it makes life easier. See this one here we talked about earlier. There's the blue dot on the MACD Platinum. The cross has been confirmed on the QQE Advanced. MACD Platinum is below the zero level, and the QQE is below the 50 level. Valid buy signal, take the buy. This is not a valid sell signal, because the MACD Platinum is not above the zero level, nor is a cross on the QQE above the 50 level. This one here is a little bit sketchy with regards to where the cross actually took place on the QQE Advanced, but because the MACD Platinum is still below the zero level, that's a fair signal for me anyway. So that's where the QMP filter comes about. It's just, it presents these dots on the price chart when both the MACD Platinum and the QQE Advanced are in sync. In sync, I mean they're both crossed and both showing the same signal, either buy or sell. That's all the QMP filter is. So it just makes life a lot easier for me. Now, at the end of the day, I don't need to see the QQE advanced displayed on my charts. That's why I don't have it in any of my. So you'll just see something like this template, MT4 high probability. So the QQE advance is gone. It just leaves me the MACD platinum, slightly different colored version of the QMP filter, and my three moving averages: the 50 EMA, 100 EMA, and 240 LMA. So it's just a linear weighted 240, linear weighted. Don't ask me why I picked those. I just need three moving averages. It's the equivalent of a 200 EMA, basically. But I just saw the 240 LMA mentioned in a few forums, and I thought I'll just do something a little bit different. So that's all. They're just a guide, the moving averages, give me an idea of trend, etc. So that's how the indicators came about. Now, there's a lot of people that, unlike me, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I actually left school when I was very young. Back in the day, in the late 70s, you could leave school in Australia once you completed year 10 or once you turned 15. So for me, I completed year 10 and turned 15 in the same year. So I left school, and I was doing all right at school. I just didn't like it. And you could join the military straight from school back in those days. So I joined as an apprentice. I joined the Air Force for 9 years, and I did an apprenticeship where I became an aircraft fitter or an aircraft engineer, as it's called these days. So that was my trade. So I didn't study that hard at school, but I know enough maths to get me through life. But I don't know enough maths to work out indicators. Now, a lot of people like to know what's under the hood. Now, I know how these indicators work. I don't care how the indicator itself actually works. I just know how it works on the chart. That's all I'm interested in. It's like me turning a TV on. I know that if I press this button, it turns the TV on. If I turn these buttons, it turns the volume up and down. These buttons change the channels. I don't care how it does it, as long as it does it. And that's the same with the indicators. But people do like to know a little bit different. So let's go and have a look. Now, I will put links to these in the description of the video. So we'll start with the MACD Platinum. So all I've done is Googled zero lag MACD. There's a few videos on, you can do this yourself. So what is a zero lag indicator? So we'll talk about a moving average. It's the same thing because the MACD Platinum is a moving average type indicator. Remember, all indicators are based on a maths formula. So, and you'll see that in a second. So zero lag exponential moving average is a technical indicator with technical analysis that aims to eliminate the inherent lag associated to all trend following indicators which average a price over time. So that's clear as mud, not for me either. But if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, go to a website like that, just Google or YouTube's your friend. But we'll have a look. From the MQL5 site, which is a great site for a lot of information. Zero lag MACD. Gives you can have a look. As I said, I'll put these links in the description of the video. It just tells you what it is. I'll probably cut it off a little bit there, but you can read it. If you like, if maths is your thing, that I look at that and I get a sore head. I don't even, my brain just fogs over. It gives you descriptions. There's a bit of discussion. Gives you other links on indicators, etc. You can go down that rabbit hole if you want. You can read about it. Yeah, there's other zero lag MACD. It's a great site, this MQL5. So that's for the zero lag MACD. And as I said, it hurts my head, the maths. So don't ask me any super technical questions about this video. Do your own research because I'm giving you all the information that I know. All right, let's get into the QQE Advanced. Now, I'm not sure how I come across this. And I do use the settings 183, which I should have explained a little bit. So let's just go back a bit. All right, let's go. Let's find that QQE Advanced. We'll use this one. All right, so if we right-click on here, my settings, default settings, you'll see it on my books are 183, SF1, RSI period 8, WP3. Now in book 4, I do use slightly different settings. Instead of 183, I use 10, 14, and 2. Now this will give the indicator a completely different look. Voila, maybe. So look at that. Now you could do what you like. I think I'll go in a few ways. You can use overbought, oversold, stuff like that. But if you just took every signal across, I'll make it a little bit bigger. You could probably do it right if you just took a cross of these two lines, a buy for below the 0 level, the 50 level, the 50 level, and a sell above the 50 level. Sometimes it works nicely. Here, like there's 3 in a row, and you could use the 50 level, some sort of filter. Let's go back a little bit. So this is just a different setting, just to give you an idea. You know, you're in up here for a sell, it just went sideways forever. Buy down here, just look above at the price chart. Sell here, buy, you would have been stopped out there, second opportunity to get in there. So I'm just giving you other options for looking at different settings. So that's just a slightly different setting. Instead of 183, 10, 14, 2. And that's covered in that 4th book. All right, I got sidetracked there. Like I said, I don't know how I come across the QQE Advanced, and I'm not sure if it's called QQE Advanced or QQE Advantage, because ADV. This site here, as I said, I'll put the link in the description of the video. This is what got me excited. Not quite the Grail, but close to it. So that's a pretty good, catches your attention. It has the explanation of it. You know, qualitative, quantitative estimation. That's what QQE stands for. Now, there's 3 words. I've got no idea how they've come up with that. You can read all that if you want. As I said, this is looking under the hood, which doesn't interest me at all. I've glanced over it and it hurt my head. There's comparisons between a standard RSI and the QQE. And the QQE Advanced is just an RSI if you read that bit up there, which you can read at your leisure. False signals may appear, but very rarely. They're using different settings to the 183. I think they're using the 14 for the RSI instead of an 8 like I use. And when I use my settings, they're just settings that work for me. There's no perfect settings for any indicator, so just be clear of that. Look, you can read this site. It just gives you a heap of information on it. It'll hurt your head if you don't get excited by this sort of stuff. But as I said, there are people out there, and I did regret not putting enough information in the first few books because I did get a lot of questions, and hopefully covered in the 4th book there. And this is just another website, back to the MQL5 on the QQE Advanced Indicator. Again, more technical information. You can read this. The link will be in the description. There's some discussion on it. People way smarter than me coming up with their own versions of it, etc. But it's like a lot of indicators. They don't work that well individually, but you can put indicators together. Now, here's my multiple sequence. Like, this is what I'm using for my hedge trading, all right? All that is a 20 moving averages, which is the center band of the Bollinger Band, with the settings of 20 and 2. So it's 20 simple moving average. But indicators, when you combine them, can be a great tool. I know the price action traders reckon indicators are a waste of time. They're all lagging. Yeah, look, I like to have confirmation. I can't pick highs and lows consistently, and I don't think these price action traders can either, but in hindsight they do. But as you know, I call all my trades at the time, so you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So hopefully that just gives you a more up-to-date description of how the QMP filter come about, the blue and red dots on the price chart. All they are is a combination of the MACD Platinum and the QQE Advanced when they're in sync. And I'll just go to the Book 4 template, the one that goes to the Book 4. Where is it? My Book 4 setup. All my indicators on the one chart. The QQE's obviously got the 10, 14.2, there's the overbought, oversold side of things. Same with the two Bollinger Bands. No moving averages, but yeah. All right, boys and girls, thank you for watching. If you do like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you've got any questions, hit me up on the Facebook group, Telegram channels, or email, or whatever. But this is all the information I'll give you on those indicators. And there's no time limit on how many candles pass. If the QQE Advanced and the MACD Platinum Cross aren't on the same candle, I don't care how many candles there are between the two, as long as the signal's still valid per the other rules. All right, I think I've covered everything. Enjoy the rest of your night. It's coming up to 20 to midnight. I've got one more 4-hour candle to check at midnight local. Then try and get a few hours sleep and get back up at 6:30. All right, talk to you tomorrow or on the weekend, Saturday's video. Cheers, and thanks for watching.